Hal.
All right.
We should be recording now, so I think we're good.
Okay.
Okay, so here I'll just I'll kind of set the stage here. Hal, we've never spoke before.
Correct.
Um, I have a colleague in my office. His name is Darren Nelson. Hopefully, he watches this. And one day, one day, I was in the hallway talking about all the great things Keller Williams has done for me. And he said, Trent, you need to meet Hal Frasier. He's my guy down in Florida. And I said, well, why don't I just talk to him now? So I sent you a Facebook message. And I said, Hal, I'd love to know you. And you said, well, I'd love to know you too, Trent. And I hear that you got a really cool profit share story. So profit share to me is just such a cool gift. And anytime I can come across somebody that has a good story and how it's affected them, I always want to hear that. And so this is kind of an opportunity, I think, for you to tell me what it's done for you. And I've got a few really basic questions here. But here's what I know about Hal for anybody who's about to watch this is, Hal, you work with your wife.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And it sounds like your wife does mostly sales and you do profit share. That's your thing. That's your
Well,
one.
that's my thing. But, whatever's necessary to do, I do in the background. I'm pretty much retired right now at age 81. So, I'm starting to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's only because of our profit share and only because of what we have received from profit share from the gift that I can even consider retiring.
If you're okay with sharing some numbers, tell me a little bit about what your profit share tree looks like, how many years you've been growing it. We can kind of just start at the beginning even. When did you come to KW?
Came to KW in 2006, and it's a very interesting story, if I might. In February of 2006, Jan and I flew out to Las Vegas to the REMAX convention so that she could receive her Hall of Fame award. Are you familiar with the Hall of Fame award in REMAX?
I think so, but share more.
It means that you've surpassed $1 million in commissions. And she did that in 3 years. But anyway, it was very, very interesting because before I went out there, I knew that KW was coming to Stuart, Florida, and the potential team leader gave me a book called A Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And by the way, I reconnected with Dave Jenks after that. Dave and I go way back into Dale Carnegie days. But anyway,
is Dave the one that gave you the book?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
I had lost track of Dave.
Okay.
Lost track of him, but we did reunite after that. So anyway, I was reading the book, and very interesting in his opening statement out there at the REMAX convention, he mentioned Keller Williams by name, that the only company he mentioned, and it was in the context of we REMAX are outproducing them because of our training. And I looked at Jan and I said, they are afraid of KW. So anyway, we came back, and that's the truth. We came back and promptly signed a letter of intent to join a KW office that hadn't even been opened yet. And all the agents thought we were crazy. And that's where I heard a lot of the myths that I sent out to you.
Yep.
And
I've got those right here too. So we'll talk about those.
Most of them came from the office, the REMAX office that we left. Okay, that was in 2006. Our office did not become profitable until 2011. That was a rough stretch, 2006 to 2011. We finally became profitable, and that's when I started teaching profit share. And when I started teaching it, I became more knowledgeable about it and really understood the process. But you asked about the numbers. Since 2011, my wife and I total have received $171,484 in profit share money. We now have a total of 180 agents in our tree. And I use the word tree, profit share tree. I do not use the word downline for various reasons, but that's about where we are right now. And as I said, that we're getting ready. I'm retiring, and she is getting ready to.
Cool. So one question I guess I have is, tell me why you don't use the word downline.
It smacks too much of multi-level marketing, and I was in the Amway business for quite a while. Did pretty well, and agents think that we are an MLM, and I just stay away from that word.
That's a really good takeaway. Thanks for sharing. One other question that I have based on what we just talked about is, so you were with a market center that wasn't profitable for 4 or 5 years.
That's correct.
Why is it that you decided to stick around? Because I'm sure you had a lot of people telling you, I told you so, or so tell me what it was that, did you see a vision, or why did you stick around?
I still believed in profit share. And the other thing we enjoyed was the cap on expenses, which we didn't have, obviously, at the other office. But now they apparently do. I understand that. But that was it. The cap and profit share, and that promise.
Cool. That's awesome. Okay, so you kind of answered the second question I have. I've got my questions off to the right here, so that's why I keep looking over here. And that was, did you believe in the gift of profit share from the very beginning? And it sounds like you did.
I did, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the gift part, but I believed in profit share.
That is just that resonates with me, because I think that we all know the stat, right? That like 30% of the agents in our company are taking advantage of this, and 70% don't. And to have a guy who wasn't even profitable, probably not receiving much in terms of profit share for a few years, if anything,
it's zero.
You still believed in it.
And yes, I did. Absolutely.
That's just wild. It's just wild.
And you won't find many agents who come to KW because of profit share. And I think maybe that's because we don't tell a right story. I just don't understand it. It's such a gift.
So what do you think that 174,000, am I right? 174 or something like that? What has that done for you guys? Have you guys bought rental properties? Has it helped you invest? What have you done with that money? Because I think people see, 170,000 over X amount of years, that's not that much, right? Well, but if I put it into 5 investment properties that made me $1 million, then is it a lot?
Unfortunately, we did not do that. What it did was paid for our mortgage, our cars, and quite a few trips. And now we have created a trust for our kids. When we die, the income stream will go to them.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Are your kids in the business?
No.
Okay.
No,
what do they do?
My oldest boy is a CFO of a company up in Albany, and then they're spread out from that. But nobody took up the
nobody took the family business. That's crazy.
Right.
But I'll bet you that they'll probably always talk about the legacy that is left behind when deposits are made in their bank account on a monthly basis.
Sure that, yes, they will.
That's pretty powerful. Okay, so I'm just going to jump over here to one of these other questions here. Okay, so how long have you been in the business, like a licensed real estate agent?
Since 1987. That's when we purchased a franchise, the Remax franchise. We were the second company to open in New York State, in Albany, in 1987. And Jan had 10 years previous experience. So she's got 10 years more experience than I do in the business. And mine is what, 34 years now or something like that.
So at what point did you, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but at what point in your partnership, obviously when you came to Keller Williams, that's probably when this happened, but did it happen right away that you went, okay, I'm going to take this profit share thing and I'm going to run with this. Why don't you go sell properties? Was that
No,
the
it
was that the
didn't.
thought immediately, or were you both kind of selling homes first?
Yes, yes, both selling homes.
Okay.
When
Okay.
we came down to Florida in 98, we joined a team in Remax. So we were both buyers agents.
Got it.
But Jan has a passion for it. She has a passion for homes and explaining to people what can happen if we take this wall down, or she's just amazing. And
She's a
she
visionary.
stages a beautiful house. Um, and with me, that was never a passion. Yeah.
Very interesting. Um, okay, so now we're to the Mythunderstandings questions, and I have your slides pulled up. So
Okay.
it's funny. It's funny because I've been a Keller Williams team leader, and so I've heard almost all of these. And I came from another company as well, and my past company always said these things. So it's just so funny that it's everywhere. Either we're not great at telling our story, or the competitors are better at telling it for us, which is usually the wrong way. So I'm hoping that people who are watching this also have some of these myths, and that we can maybe debunk those.
Okay.
The first one that you have on here is it doesn't work. It's the slide with smoke and mirrors.
Well,
So
that's what they said when we left Remax. That thing, it just doesn't work. Well, 1.6 billion or whatever it is right now of profit share given back to agents who have helped the company grow. I think we can prove that it works.
okay, the next one. It's a pyramid scheme, or it's a multi-level marketing scheme, and it will fold.
Yeah. I don't know how many people have said that to me, and I always ask the same question. How do you explain a pyramid scheme? And I seldom get the correct answer. But suffice to say that this is operating all over the country, and the pyramid schemes are illegal. So I think we can cut that one off right there. The MLM part, now that's a very interesting concept, because I do believe back when they first started, when Gary gathered his people together after he lost some agents to Remax, by the way, right?
Yep. I've heard that story.
And said, what do I have to do to create a company that no one would ever want or have to leave? And one of the things they said was, we would like to share in the profit. So that's where that started. And I would imagine that that original group took a look at the Amway business, because that was legitimate and was flourishing. And I just imagine that they did. I know they did. They looked at Southwest Airlines and some other companies. But the amazing thing is that they stopped the tree from growing, from your tree, from my tree, stopped it at 7 levels. Now that's brilliant. That's brilliant, because that's what Amway and the other MLMs did not do. It just kept growing and growing and being diluted and diluted and diluted on the way down. But they were brilliant in stopping it at 7 levels. And you'll see that on my tree if you pull that one up.
Interesting. Yeah, that's I guess I didn't even know that, like, the Amway thing goes infinite.
Oh yeah, until they hit another like an emerald or another diamond or something
Sure.
along those lines.
What
Yeah.
is your so while we're on this topic, if you were to look at your profit share income, does a majority of it come from your 7th level and your 6th and your 5th, or is it coming from your first? Because I know when you look at like a Linda McKissick, right? Not nearly as much comes from those first two as it does from those 5, 6, and 7s. And I just think that's so interesting. They say build out that first level to 15 as fast as you can, and then let time do its thing. And I
Yes.
know Aaron Kaufman's he's always telling us that story. And
Yes.
so I'm curious what yours looks like.
It looks like my level 1 is hurting, which it is. Over the period of time, that has been diluted. I had 15 on my level 1, or not my level, Jan's level 1.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. At one time, we had 15. And over a period of time, that has been diluted. However, the rest of the tree really took off. We are in 26 different market centers at this time. Now, you ask about level 6 and 7. Jan's level 7 this month was amazing. She had 2 people that one did 20 million and another did 19 million.
Wow.
Not in our market center. Our market center has not been, well, we average 0.1 in the multiplier. Got other market centers who are consistently doing 0.2 and change. And that's what it should be. But yeah, her level 7 and level 6 really are producing. That's a majority of our tree. Isn't in numbers cool? And in volume.
That's so cool. And how many of those people do you know or did you talk to?
None. None. I'm sorry, Zero. I should have been nurturing as I grew it. I didn't, and that's my fault. I don't know what it would look like. Maybe it wouldn't have changed at all. I don't know.
Sure.
But no, what Aaron says is absolutely true. You build it wide and time will build it deep.
Yeah, you just never know who's going to be that Hal Frasier, right, in your tree. It could be 5 people deep.
I have one person in Jan's level 1 who is responsible for 121 agents in the tree that I showed you, and that is an old tree. That's an old tree.
That's incredible.
We can't get that view anymore through KW. I have not been able to get it. The tree itself. You do a 7-level lookup.
Yeah, you can do the 7-level lookup. But you can't do like the actual tree breakdown, just the 7-level, kind of the vertical report.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you could go back, Hal, and go back to 2006 when you started the profit share, you've been hugely successful with it already, but what would you do a little bit differently? You mentioned like nurturing your profit share tree. What are some things that you think you could have done better?
Well, from 2006 to 2011, it was survival. So people were getting out of the business like crazy. But starting in 2011, I took my foot off the gas when I was reaching out to agents because it was going so well. And that's a mistake I made. And also not nurturing the tree as it was growing. I think it would be much bigger today if I had done that, especially on the level 2, level 3 that many people that you knew. Sure. Once it got down into the deep roots, I don't know how you can do that. Maybe you can now with smart plans. Maybe we can do that. Yeah. I don't know. But that was my big mistake.
So it sounds like when your tree started to kind of grow organically, you sort of took your foot off the gas when really maybe you should have doubled down.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's really awesome to hear that you're aware of that. To have that awareness that you could have done more is a sign of what your character really is like. So, okay, so let's do a couple more of these objections because these are funny. The money is evenly split among all agents, so you won't get very much.
That's what I heard when we left. Of course, it wasn't much profit share money at that point in time, so I guess that was true for a while. Nobody got much. But Gary says this is a how does he put it? It's a equal opportunity, unequal reward business. Yep.
It absolutely is. If you leave, it's gone.
Yeah. Well, we used to say 3 years in a day, you vest if you have someone in your tree. Of course, it's 7 years. The person who was sponsored me left our company and started his own company. And to give him credit, he never recruited into his whole company, never recruited into our office. But he did start another company, and he was receiving quite a bit of profit share, and still will. Funny thing is, now he's come back to KW.
Really?
Yes.
So when did he come back?
He came back last year. Yep. Called me up and said, Hal.
I was
I'm
just going to say,
back.
did he reach out to you? He said, Hal, I'm back.
Yep.
Oh, man, that's phenomenal. Okay, here's one that I think gets, it doesn't get enough attention, and that's the owners cook the books.
You've heard that, huh?
For sure. And I think one thing that agents don't quite understand is how important it is to have an office run by agents, like the ALC, right? The importance of the ALC. If I go out and talk to somebody at a Coldwell Banker or a Remax or any other competitor, and I talk about the ALC, they don't think that's a big deal. But I just don't think it doesn't carry enough weight. We need to be talking about that more. Wouldn't you
Exactly.
agree?
That's our board of directors.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
that should be the people, the board who holds the team leader and the OP accountable.
And it's always interesting too. I came to Keller Williams just a couple of years ago, and it's amazing how many agents in our industry, they see themselves as salespeople for a company, right? But when you come here, you realize that every employee in this building really works for you, right? The team leader, the MCA, those are your employees. You're not an employee of theirs. It's completely
Exactly.
flip-flopped.
Yes.
And when you have that realization, I think it's like, whoa, that's a major difference.
That and the open book concept.
Yeah.
I mean, what other company has that?
Right. You think I can go down to Coldwell Banker and ask to see their profit and loss statement and how much they're paying their broker and salaries? And yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
So when they put this business together, this Keller Williams business, they were brilliant in their thinking. Absolutely brilliant, and because it's carried on, and the model is the model, and it hasn't changed. People screw the model up many times, but the model is great.
And we've talked, I'm sure you've heard this story numerous times, and Gary talks about it on his Think Like a CEO podcast, is how he started with revenue share.
Yeah.
And it incentivized the people to do the wrong thing.
Yep.
And I just think that's, to notice that, right? To notice that revenue share is getting people motivated about the wrong things. That's huge.
It absolutely is. And then he had to come back and talk his ALC into a big change.
Again, he didn't make that decision, right? The ALC did, which is a big deal. So, yep. Okay, here's something. We worked our way through the Mythunderstandings, but I love to see new people take advantage of profit share because I think not enough do. So if I have somebody watching this today and they say, okay, I don't have anybody in my downline right now, but I want to start, what do I do?
Well, right, this is a good time right now because of family reunion coming up, and because we don't have to package people up and take them to wherever it is, and that's expensive. So it should be much easier to get them into the market center, view it on digital. So I would reach out to the relationships that I've built with co-broke agents and invite them into the market center to at least see the opening. That is so exciting.
Mhm.
and then the breakout session. But that's the number one thing that I would do. The other thing that they might consider if they want to make an investment is run job ads in Indeed, ZipRecruiter, whatever, and then follow up with a smart plan or a recruiting site. There are recruiting sites available to
Tell me a little
agents.
bit. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about. Have you run ads like that before? And what advice would you give someone looking to maybe run some ads on Indeed?
I've run ads and I've done it prior to career nights.
Oh, sure. To get people to
Yes,
career night. Cool.
and that's been successful. Direct ads will generate leads. What I haven't done properly, again, it's on my bad, is handle the recruiting sites that I have. The recruiting site, one site. I haven't driven traffic to that properly, which will be my next the next thing I'm going to do. The next project will be running Facebook ads through command and following up with smart plans to generate business or generate leads,
Yeah. Yep. That's genius.
and
Yeah.
very targeted ads, because you can do that through.
Yep. What website or what are you using to build out your recruiting websites at the moment? Who does your websites?
That site is a combination of Michael Trithart
Okay.
and Aaron Kaufman.
Oh, sure. Okay. Here, I think I have it here. If anybody who's watching wants to see Hal's website, do you have two of them,
Well, funny.
or do you have multiple?
The first I bought two domains
Okay.
because they're targeted to two different groups of people. One is a non-agent at this point, and the other is right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just now reading the
All right.
domain. So we have discover a career in realestate.com, which is going to cater to the new agent, right? And then we
Exactly.
have a retirement plan for agents.com. So we've got the agents coming in and the agents going out.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And
So the site is the same for everyone. However, you can make it hyper local, which I'm planning on doing by
okay.
blogging and things of that nature on the site.
Okay. Have you run any ads on Facebook yet for recruiting purposes?
I have not. I'm
Okay, I have
just
not either, but I want to, and so I was going to
Yeah.
pick your brain on that.
I have run real estate ads.
Yeah, we've run a ton of those too, and they do
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah, they do. They do.
They do really
Very
well.
cost effective.
Well, I don't really have any more questions, but do you have anything else you want to add on here? I mean, I just want to get people to buy into what all the beautiful things that Profit Share can do, and so any advice that you have is appreciated.
I would suggest that all of your people, if they're not now, get into the mastermind group.
Okay, it's an awesome Facebook page run by Aaron Kaufman, I believe. Correct? He's the one who started
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, I am in
Yep.
there. I know Hal's in there. Yes, that's a big one. Okay, there's one takeaway.
Oh, as you go along, remember, we are not recruiters. We agents are not recruiters. You, team leader, OP, recruiters. There's a danger in when agents are talking to other agents out there, trying to convince them of something, that they just throw up KW all over them.
It's
I
hard
know
to not do, isn't it?
I've done this.
I think we all have.
Yeah, but to remember that the OP and the TL, ATL are they do the heavy lifting. We don't have to do that. What we have to do is build relationships out there and refer to our team leader.
That's huge because I see it so often that people just say, I don't want to recruit, or I'm not good at recruiting. And we have somebody in our company who's dedicated to growing your tree for you. And some of my biggest success, and not to turn this on me, but some of my biggest success with profit share has been out of my market. And I think it's because agents outside my market that I talk to, when I refer them to the team leader, they truly feel like I'm helping them with their career, right? I'm not doing it for the betterment of myself and for my market center. And so some of my, in fact, the people probably watching this video, a lot of those came because somebody voiced to me that they were interested in what Keller Williams had going on. And I reached out to the team leader or the OP in that area, and I said, hey, you have somebody really talented in your market that I think you need to be talking to. Here's their name and contact info. And that's all I did. And I know that person will probably watch this, and it changed their world, and just like it changed mine. And so
that's great.
So I think, yeah, so it sounds like you're in multiple markets. Do you have kind of a similar story to that, maybe like recruiting out market?
I've run Indeed ads in like Orlando. Orlando is very profitable up there, so I've run Indeed ads up there, and of course that's what Aaron has started, internet recruiting. Now it's time consuming to do it right, not just get a name and hand it off to the team leader. That doesn't work. That's not the way to do it. But done properly, yes, it can be done very successfully.
So are the agents that are recruiting at a really high level online, are they targeting markets where they know the market center is hugely profitable?
Absolutely.
What a strategy. Love it. That is so amazing. And for somebody who wants to see that, where can they find that information?
In reports.
Yep.
You know, my KW, in reports, you can get you can go to rankings, and then you can choose profit share, or you can choose the numbers of closed units, and it will print out all of our market centers.
Okay, so just for anybody watching this, because I love reports, I'm in there all the time. I love going in and looking at reports. You're going to go to my KW, click the little link by your picture that says reports.
Right. And
then there's a drop down, I think, in the middle labeled reports. And in there, you'll find rankings, profit share, all that stuff. And you can find rankings of profit share or profitability in each market center right there.
That's correct.
That's really cool.
Yep. So do they target? Does Brent Mitchell target? Absolutely.
I would guess he does.
Yep, and he does it very well.
That's awesome. It's just so cool. So, well, what else do you have to add? Do you have anything else you want to add to this?
Not that I can think of.
So where are you located, Hal? Just so we can let these people know where you're at if they want to send you some business or referrals. Where are you located?
We're in Stuart, Florida. Actually, we've got 5 market centers. Our OP owns 5 market centers and a title company, which is very nice. But we run from Jupiter, Palm Beach County, Stuart, which is where our office is, Palm City, and Port St. Lucie, and Vero. So it's all of the Treasure Coast.
And they can find you on Kelly, obviously. Your wife's name is Jan?
Jan, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And I think that's about all I got.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to meet you and talk with you.
Yeah, this is super fun. I love just having conversations like this with good people. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Please tell my friend Darren that
I will.
We said hello.
I will certainly do that. Are you going to be, if we do get together in person, would I see you at Mega Camp?
Probably.
Okay. Yep. Perfect. Well, I hope that happens. And if it does, I'm going to make sure to find you.
I'll find you.
All right, Hal, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anytime.
See you later.